On December 28th, 2023, Sandringham's peace was shattered by an ambulance siren. Blue lights flashed down the private drive, not for the main house, but a secluded residence. Staff exchanged anxious glances. The official story was planned procedure, but the speed and secrecy told a different tale. That night, the siren's cry signaled reality intruding on royal fantasy. Nothing would ever be quite the same. When Kate Middleton finally reappeared, the world searched for clues. The palace claimed she was recovering from a planned abdominal surgery, but the camera captured more than words could hide: scars, faint but visible, on her hands, face, and abdomen. These were not the neat lines of a surgeon's scalpel. They hinted at struggle, at something chaotic. The public began to whisper. Online sleuths zoomed in, comparing before and after. The scars became a focal point for speculation, fueling conspiracy theories. The official story began to unravel. The palace's silence only deepened suspicion. The scars suggested a trauma that went beyond medical recovery. They were physical evidence of a hidden ordeal. The more the palace insisted on privacy, the more the public felt deceived. The scars were not just on Kate, they were now etched into the public's trust in the monarchy. The story of a planned surgery felt hollow against the reality of that December night. The truth, it seemed, was far more complicated and far more troubling. 2024 was branded as Kate's, a year of hardship, resilience, and recovery. The official narrative was simple: a brave princess, a supportive family, a medical battle. The media was fed positive updates, but the reality was more complex. The focus on her health deflected attention from deeper questions. The timeline was inconsistent, the explanations vague. The true hardship lay not just in recovery, but in the events that led there. The palace's story was a masterclass in spin, generating sympathy, silencing dissent. To question it was to be cruel. But for those watching closely, the story didn't add up. The most painful parts remained hidden, locked away. Kate was not just recovering, she was performing. She played the part of the brave princess, while the real script stayed secret. The hardship of 2024 was not just about health, it was about the crushing weight of maintaining a lie for the crown. The public saw only a single edited chapter. The rest was veiled for the sake of the monarchy. The cost of this performance was immense, and the truth still remained out of reach. Behind palace walls, a different story circulates, one of fear, tension, and secrecy. Staff whisper of a household on edge, a princess walking on eggshells. Anonymous insiders describe a culture of fear, where mistakes are costly and silence is survival. The pressure to maintain perfection is immense, trickling down to everyone in the household. Adelaide Cottage and Forest Lodge are not idyllic homes, but stages for private drama. The trauma is not confined to Kate. It affects all who serve the future king. The grand residences are described as beautiful prisons, heavy with unspoken secrets. The need to protect William's image means any hint of trouble is ruthlessly suppressed. Kate's role is not just supportive wife, but shock absorber for the crown. She absorbs the pressures, presents a calm face, and sacrifices her own peace. The cost of protecting the heir is borne by everyone within those walls, and the whispers, though suppressed, refuse to die. Prince William's public image is that of a modern, compassionate king-in-waiting, but behind the polished facade, rumours persist of temper, frustration, and a marriage under strain. The pressure to maintain perfection is immense, and cracks have appeared before. The alleged affair with Rose Hanbury was quickly buried, but questions lingered. The events of 2024 brought these rumours back to the surface. If the whispers are true, Kate's hardship takes on a new, troubling dimension. The perfect prince may be a mask, and the cost of maintaining it devastating. Kate's ordeal echoes the tragedy of Princess Diana. Diana too was celebrated as a fairy tale princess, only to find royal life a gilded cage. Her struggles, her rebellion, and her ultimate fate haunt the modern monarchy. But Kate's role is different. She is not just the mother of the heir, but the indispensable partner to the future king. Her status is more secure, but the demands are greater. Unlike Diana, Kate has remained silent, absorbing pressure and maintaining the facade. The lesson from Diana's era: public battles damage the institution. The new strategy is absolute control and silence, no matter the personal cost. Kate's sacrifice is for the stability of her husband's future reign. She is not a disposable princess, but a cornerstone of the monarchy. The cage is stronger because she is so vital to it. Her strength is her trap. The personal cost is immense, but the prize, queen and mother of a king, is undeniable. The echoes of Diana are a warning, but also a reminder. The cost of the crown is always paid in private, and the price for Kate may be even higher. Society demands an impossible ideal from the royals: humanity without flaws, authenticity without scandal. The pressure to perform is relentless. Every moment is a public stage. Pain, struggle, and imperfection must be hidden to preserve the fairy tale. The palace machine spins, conceals, and manages the narrative. Kate's planned surgery was a palatable story, masking a messier truth. Royals are symbols, not people. Their vulnerability is a liability. Social media amplifies every crack in the facade. The cycle of performance and secrecy breeds distrust. Until we accept their humanity, the monarchy remains a prison for them and a fantasy for us. The demand for perfection creates the very secrecy that fuels scandal, and so the impossible ideal endures. Who is Catherine, Princess of Wales? To some, she is the perfect princess, graceful, dutiful, the monarchy's greatest asset. To others, she is a shrewd strategist, ambitious and calculating. Her relationships within the royal family are complex: diplomatic with Charles, fractured with Harry and Meghan. Public perception is split saintly peacemaker or cunning player. The truth is likely somewhere in between. Kate is ambitious and dutiful, protective of her family and the institution. Her public persona is a reflection in a shattered mirror. Each angle reveals something different. She remains an enigma, her true self hidden behind protocol and a practiced smile. And perhaps that is her greatest strength and her greatest shield. The monarchy projects timeless stability, but behind the curtain lies a family business, messy, human, and flawed. Kate's ordeal in 2024 pulled back that curtain, if only for a moment. The ambulance, the scars, the conflicting stories revealed the frantic reality beneath the fairy tale. The pressure to maintain the facade is immense. The truth is often sacrificed for the image. What the public sees is a carefully edited version of reality. The real story, arguments, tears, private traumas, remains locked behind palace doors. The institution's first priority is always its own survival. The royal family is a paradox: famous, yet unknowable; symbols, yet human. Kate's scars are a reminder that beneath the crown there is always a human heart, and the most compelling royal truths will forever remain hidden behind the facade.